Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Wheelchair Basketball's Ottawa Invitational for 2023, presented by Meridian. I'm Jackson Starr. This afternoon, we've got a good one between the Canada and the USA, the second of three games here on Saturday. The later one coming up will be USA against the Netherlands this evening, and Canada looking to bounce back after dropping a 20-point loss against the Netherlands this morning, 57-37. It was a difficult offensive showing for Canada in that game. And to try and get some help in that area, they'll get Nick Gonson back into the lineup. We've highlighted him throughout the entirety of the tournament that he's not here. Maybe he would be, maybe he wouldn't be. He is. Got in late last night on a flight, so able to be in the lineup tonight, or today, I should say, for Canada. Number 4 out there, he's in the starting lineup. We'll do the starting lineup for Canada. Nick Gonson, as mentioned, number 4, along with number 5, Garrett Ostapchuk. Number 9 is Colin Higgins, who had a good game this morning, all things considered. Number 10 is Liam Melimick, who had a good game against the U.S. the last time these two teams faced off. And number 14 is Tyler Miller. For the U.S., they're going out with George Sanchez, number 1. Number 11 is Steve Serio. Number 25 is Jorge Salazar. Number 33 is John Boye. And number 44 is Jeremy Meyer, who's also been strong for the U.S. at points in this tournament, was strong against Canada the last time these two teams faced off. Canada is 2-1 in this tournament. They sit in first place. The first place team gets a bye to tomorrow's finals, while the 2 and 3 teams will face off in the semis. The U.S. looking to get above 500 with a game here this afternoon, 1-1. As they've played 2 games so far. Canada with 3 games. This is the last they'll play today. The Netherlands is 1-2 going in to tonight's game against the U.S. But we're underway with this one as Steve Serio tried to feed it over for Sanchez. A little bit of a forced pass, and it will go back in the hands of Canada just 6 seconds into this one. Working back the other way with it is Nick Gonson. First touch on it for him. Gonson delays on the near side. Higgins back for Melimick. Liam Melimick underneath the basket for Higgins, who puts that up and in. And a nice applause from the crowd here on hand to see this matchup as Higgins laid that one up and in. Good ball movement from Canada. Meyer finds Serio. He'll carry it up the floor. Down went John Boye, so they'll give him some time to reset, and the USA will as well reset with the ball. Good fast team in the U.S. here that we've seen throughout this tournament as Serio inbounds towards Meyer. Jeremy Meyer feeds it inside. There with it is Salazar. He'll put it up. No good. Rebound collected by Higgins. Higgins for Gonson. He'll carry it up the floor. Gonson with time and space for 3, a little bit strong there. Looking to get into this one quickly, and it's Miller who corrals it. Finds Higgins. Higgins back for Gonson. Second attempt for Gonson, and that one is good. Nick Gonson, first 2 points with the team here in Ottawa, and it's a 4-0 Canada lead early. Now Jeremy Meyer back the other way. Feeds it underneath for Salazar, pass a little bit ahead of him. So a slow start offensively for the U.S. and Canada up 4-0, trying to extend their lead. Inbound for Gonson. Carrying it up the floor. Primary ball carrier. Noteworthy for the Canadians that Pat Anderson is not in the starting 5. As Gonson delays, now takes that one. Little bit off, didn't get a good roll. And Serio will carry back. A couple players collide in the middle. Ostapchuk and Salazar, but Serio in transition finds Sanchez. Sanchez weaves his way and finishes it off nicely. First 2 points of the game for the U.S. right there as Sanchez drives to the basket and finishes off. Under 2 minutes into this one, 4-2 Canada leads. Gonson up the right side. Trying to drive to the basket. Met on defense by Salazar. Salazar defending Gonson, who goes cross-court for Higgins. Higgins trying to weave away, in for Gonson, who advances to the key. He puts that up. Foul's going to be called as that one doesn't fall, but Gonson, the impact already being felt for sure here as he's going to the line, shooting 2. You can definitely see the impact of the Regina, Saskatchewan-born 31-year-old Nick Gonson. Has a major, major impact on this team, and at times you could see that the Canadians were struggling a little bit with who was going to be their primary ball carrier. Gonson a little bit strong on his first attempt, and Nick Gonson, being the player that he is, the impact player, the leader, co-captain of this team, just brings an entirely different element to this team as he knocks down his second shot, making it 5-2 Canada. And the inbound goes towards Sanchez. Sanchez carrying up the floor, cycles back, feeds it in towards Salazar in the paint. One-handed shot doesn't go, and it's Lee Melimek on the rebound, trying to work his way out of trouble. Feeds Gonson, full court press here from the U.S., and now it's Higgins who recorrals it for Canada. Higgins cycled, looked for the three for a moment, but now feeds Melimek in the corner. Higgins make that Gonson with the shot, and a foul is going to be called once again, so Nick Gonson, for the second time, will go to the line. And the foul is going to be called against Jeremy Meyer, his first, and the team's second foul, both of which have been drawn by Gonson, so once again his impact being felt here for the Canadians. Much better start for Canada offensively. As Gonson knocks down his first one, they trailed 17-1 out of the gate against Netherlands this morning. Definitely not the start that the Canadians were looking for. As Gonson unable to knock down his second one, but does make one of two and make it a 6-2 Canada lead. Steve Serio back up the floor, quick in transition feed into the middle for Salazar, who finishes it off. Very, very good transition offense team are the United States, and they capitalize on an opportunity there to make it a 6-4 game. Trying to hold on as much as they can with a strong Canadian start offensively. Melimek finds Gonson. Back for Lee Melimek. He'll put that one up a little bit off, and it's Serio who picks up the board. Steve Serio, foul is going to go, I believe, against Melimek. That's who they're going to give it to. So the first foul for Canada, and the U.S. will have an opportunity to reset here, side out. In for Jeremy Meyer. Back for Serio and Meyer. Now on the near side, Sanchez. Sanchez inside, Serio underneath, delays, puts it up. He's fouled, a late foul call, but it does come in. And that's going to go up against Colin Higgins. So to the line for the first time on the afternoon is Steve Serio, one of the leaders of this U.S. side as well. Serio had 13 points in the last game between these two teams. Able to knock one down there on his first free throw attempt. Went 6 for 9 from the field in his last game as well. In the last game these two teams faced off, I should say. Able to knock both down there, and we're all knotted up at 6 apiece. So strong start, physical start, fast-paced start for both sides, as is expected between these two teams. And now Higgins on the near side. Higgins delays, finds Melimek just inside the three-point line. Now towards the foul line, over for Higgins. He'll take it from long range. Little bit too strong on that one, and it's Serio who carries it back out for the United States. Serio up this left side, this right side, over for Sanchez. Sanchez looking for options, returns to Serio. He's got an open look from beyond the arc, and he hits. Steve Serio. Quick 5 points for him, and it's a 9-6 United States lead. And we see Pat Anderson getting ready to check in for Canada as Lee Melimek has it at the top. Space opens up, but he's able to feed it underneath. Intended pass from Gonson into the paint, doesn't go, and it's picked off. Sanchez is fouled. Another foul on Canada, their third, and they're going to want some adjustments to be made. As a timeout's going to, in fact, be called by Canada. So a strong start for Canada, but the U.S. able to battle back strong. Again, their speed and transition offensively definitely on display right there to take the lead right back, 9-6, with 5:27 left to go here in the first quarter. The Government of Canada is proud to support Canada's wheelchair basketball athletes from playground to podium in their pursuit of sporting excellence. So thank you, Sport Canada, in their support of wheelchair basketball. So for the United States, it was a very, very strong game at the start against the Netherlands. They were able to open up a strong lead. However, the Netherlands did battle back strong in the fourth quarter and make it a 3-point game. The U.S. winning a low-scoring affair, 47-44. They were able to hold that one off. And someone we haven't seen yet in this game, Brian Bell, number 8 out there for the United States, had 8 points and went 4 for 4 from the field. He was a very, very strong shooter in that game. Serio had 9 points in that game as well. So definitely the big guns for the U.S. in that case, doing what they can to knock down as many shots. And Salazar, who we've seen so far do a good job, also had 9 points in that game. That was a 47-44 win against Netherlands last night. Their first win after dropping one against Canada in the first game that they played in the tournament, the U.S. So looking for a little bit of revenge here maybe in this game against Canada. And after a little bit of a difficult start for them, going down 6-2 early on, able to battle back for a 9-6 lead. They'll start with it as Meyer carries it up the floor, delays and goes towards the near side for Serio. Serio underneath Salazar, puts it up, a little bit off on that one, right under the basket. And Patrick Anderson into the game on the ball right here. Anderson delays, now puts that 2-pointer up, and that one is good. Pat Anderson had a difficult morning from the field against the Netherlands, but picks up his first bucket on his first shot attempt. Sanchez now delays on the near side. Defended by Miller, doing a good job keeping him to the outside. Salazar works it loose. Meyer from 3. That one's just off. It was late in the shot clock anyways. And now Canada trailing by 1, carrying it back up the floor. Higgins directing traffic on the near side. Gonson, that is. Gonson from a sharp angle, able to take that shot. That one is good. Nick Gonson. Impact once again felt right off the hop and in this first quarter. And it's 10-9 Canada. Right out of the timeout, some strong shooting. Salazar goes towards the near side for Serio. Serio, cross-court feed towards Sanchez. Back for Serio. U.S. looking to create space. Meyer near the foul line. That one rattles around but doesn't fall. Now it ricochets around there, and Serio's able to pick it up and drop it back off. It's Sanchez. Sanchez working towards the middle, finds Serio on the outside. Delays underneath. Blocked there for a moment. Boye can't finish it off. It bounces around out off of Canada, but at the tail end of the shot clock, so it's going to be a shot clock violation. Although the U.S. want to appeal that it did hit the rim. I believe the officials are going to discuss that play. Nonetheless, a well-defended series for Canada, despite it going out at the end, and it will stay USA basketball. Boye goes towards Sanchez on the near side. He'll let that one go from 3, a little bit off. And Ostapchuk couldn't get to that one, but it finds Serio, that is. Serio. Sanchez on the near side, defended by Miller. Able to create space and find Serio. From mid-range, he hits. Nice shot from Steve Serio, giving the U.S. back the lead. So changing leads here early on in this one. There were a couple of lead changes in the last time these two teams met as well. So we'll see if that continues as Anderson works his way in, fouled, and that shot doesn't go, but he will go to the line, shooting 2. And a couple of subs, a few subs, in fact, coming into the game for the United States. They'll bring Corey Rossi, number 14, in, as well as number 8, Brian Bell. And Ryan Neiswender, who we've seen at times as well in the tournament, he's coming into the game for the U.S., so a few changes to their team's lineup, with Pat Anderson going to the line, the 43-year-old veteran. Able to knock his first one down and tie this game up at 11. Trying to give Canada the lead right back here. And And he's able to do good on his second shot attempt as well. So a 12-11 Canada lead. And now it's Brian Bell, who was strong against Canada last time these two teams faced off. Finding Meyer. Back off for Serio. Serio up top. Neiswender at the foul line. Comes up short on that shot. And it's carried up the floor by Gonson. Nick Gonson. Towards the right side. Inside feed for Anderson. Hard pass. Nice reception. Anderson trying to create space. Goes back off for Gonson. He'll put that one up. Little bit off. Rebound collected by Meyer. And he'll find Serio. Steve Serio advancing it up the floor. And an offensive foul is going to go against the U.S. It was Brian Bell on that far side with a push. So it'll go back into the hands of Canada, up by 1 with 2:16 left to go here in the first quarter. Fourth foul of the quarter for the United States as a team. And it's Anderson on it back the other way. Inside feed for Gonson. Able to get to that one underneath Ostapchuk. He'll put that up, and it rattles home. Garrett Ostapchuk extending Canada's lead. He had a few big points in the fourth quarter of the game against Netherlands, and he's able to continue that here in the first against the U.S. Underneath Bell, able to get that pass. He's fouled on the way up, so he'll go to the line shooting 2, trying to cut into this 3-point Canada lead. Brian Bell, definitely an impact player for this American side. And we'll see if he can knock down a couple clutch ones here to bring this back to a 1-point game. Unable to knock down his first one, a little bit strong on that shot. And we'll see what he can do here. Able to knock down his second one, so a 2-point Canada lead, 14-12. And inbound goes towards Gonson. He'll advance it up the floor quickly for Ostapchuk. Full court press here from the U.S. trying to shed off as much time on the shot clock, but quickly in transition, Miller receives it and he's fouled, and that's the 5th foul of the quarter on the U.S., so Miller will go to the line. That's a foul against Ryan Neiswender, so Miller going to the line to try and add to this Canada lead. Tyler Miller from Kitchener, Ontario, has competed in 2 Paralympic Games. First one rattles home for Tyler Miller. Low arc on that free throw, but it gets a nice roll and falls for him. And the U.S. still getting set here with Miller at the line. Able to bank home his second one as well. So 2 free throws for Tyler Miller. 16-12 Canada lead with 1:40 left to go here in the first quarter. It's Serio back the other way. Meyer try to work his way in. Over for Serio on the far side. Meyer again. Bell able to put that one up, and Bell perfect right there. A nice 2-pointer from Bell. 16-14 Canada leads. Up on the near side, Garrett Ostapchuk gets to it. Ostapchuk looking for support, feeds it for Gonson far side. Nick Gonson, he'll take from beyond the arc. Rattles out, but a nice attempt from Gonson from way out there. As Bell goes down, that's going to be a foul called against Canada. Foul's going to go against Ostapchuk, and that will result in Bell going to the line with an opportunity to tie this game up. It's been a very, very tightly contested first quarter here between the U.S. and Canada, 2 strong teams. Bell able to knock down his first one. Again, his impact being felt off the bench here in this one. Second one unable to fall for him, but nonetheless made 1 of 2 to make it a 1-point game, and now it's Pat Anderson back the other way. Less than a minute to go here in the first quarter. Anderson inside for Gonson. He'll delay, puts it up, rattles out, and Serio gets up on the board. 45 to go here in the first. Serio working his way back. That's going to be a foul called. It's going to go against Corey Rossi. as taking a spill there was his fellow number 14, Tyler Miller. And Miller will go to the line. He won't go to the line, rather. My apologies. Offensive foul, that's true, yes. So no shots for Miller as it goes back the other way for Anderson. Off the inbound from Gonson. Anderson delays, now puts that up, and that one is good. Pat Anderson, again strong out of the gate so far here. 18-15, Canada leads. Serio off for Meyer, working his way in. Hands it off for Bell, goes back up top. Serio gets it. Now Meyer, good ball movement from the United States. Meyer working his way in, 5 on the shot clock. He'll take that shot, a nice one from Meyer as he was fading away, but able to knock that down and make it a 1-point game. 5 seconds left, quick inbound for Miller. He'll go back for Gonson, 2 seconds left. Ostapchuk can't catch up to that one, and that will do it for a very, very entertaining first quarter of basketball. Canada up 18-17 after 1 quarter of play. We'll take a quick break and be right back with second quarter action here from the Ravens Nest at Carleton University. Welcome back to the Ravens Nest here at Carleton University as Canada lead 18-17 over the United States in this one, as we'll have another game later on this evening. The United States playing their 4th game later on today. This is Canada's 4th and final round-robin game, and a big one. Canada 2-1 so far in the tournament, and we'll see what they can do in the second quarter of a 1-point game. On the near side, Higgins into the game. He'll advance up the left side for Canada. Higgins feeds it underneath. That's Bo Hedges into the game, trying to get on the board, but unable to finish there. And it is Serio back the other way. Serio delays, now takes from beyond the arc and hits. A nice shot from Steve Serio. Another 3 for him. And it's just like that, a 2-point lead for the U.S., and they'll get the ball right back off of a turnover. So they'll try to extend their lead here, less than a minute into the second quarter. As Serio is set to inbound for the U.S. He'll go towards Meyer, gives it back to Serio. Serio delays, defended by Hedges. Work towards the near side, Bell. He'll put that one up, and Bell in and out right there, and the rebound's collected by Anderson. Anderson had 12 rebounds in the game against the United States last time these two teams met up. Hedges loses the handle on that. Turnover created by Serio. He'll start back, delays at the 3-point line. Still looking to get around Miller. Works his way in, now forced off. Serio still on it, off for Meyer. He'll take from deep 2-point range, and that one rattles home. Nice shot from Meyer. And it's a 4.22-18 United States lead here. Meyer feeds it for Malimic. Back for Anderson. Anderson goes for Higgins. Higgins in the middle had that one stripped from him, and Serio once again with an offensive turnover there defensively, and it's picked up by Bell off of the feed from him. Bell delays, gets support. Serio from three-point range again, and he's perfect from there. Steve Serio splash from that spot. 25-18 U.S. just like that, and Canada gonna need to make some adjustments here. Vincent Dallaire set to come into the game as Liam Malimic carries it back the other way. Near side, Higgins feeds it in for Anderson. He'll put that one up, and that one is good. So Anderson right underneath, able to finish it off. And Meyer will feed it in for Bell. So 5-point United States lead. Serio again, open look from beyond the arc, and he's 3 for 3. Steve Serio. How about that? What a great performance out of the gate here in the second quarter from number 11 for the United States. He's come alive, and the U.S. opens up an 8-point lead. On the far side, it's Hedges. Now works his way towards the middle. Off for Anderson. Offensive foul called against Canada, and it'll go back the other way. So the Canadians in need of something to go right, and we'll see if head coach Matteo Ferriani wants to take a timeout. He will take a timeout. A foul called against the U.S., against the Canadians right there, so a timeout to talk things over. So a big run out of the gate for the USA, and they've been coming out shooting very well, carried by Steve Serio, who's been terrific in this one so far. 3 3-pointers for him here so far in the second quarter, to add to the 7 points he already had in the first quarter. So he's really been shooting the ball well. He was 2 for 2 after the first, hasn't missed yet, and it's a 28-20 lead for the U.S. over Canada, and we'll see what adjustments Canada can make. You've got to respect the shot to a certain degree from Serio. He's been terrific from that range so far in this one. But what else can they do offensively to try and work their way back, get some momentum throughout the rest of the second quarter, and going into the break with some sort of momentum again to try and come back in the third quarter with some momentum once again. So we'll see what the Canadians can do here. Same unit out there with Vincent Dallaire into the game for Canada. And Serio set to inbound for the United States. Finds Meyer, who gives it back to Serio. He'll carry it up the floor. Back off for Meyer. Meyer to the near side for Serio. Serio defended by Dallaire. Support from Hedges as well. Serio trying to work his way in. Feeds it underneath, looking for Rossi, who took a hard hit going down there. And that's going to be a foul called against Canada again. And it'll stay with the U.S. a fresh 14 seconds for them. 6:38 left to go here in the second quarter. 28-20 still for the United States over Canada. Feed goes inside for Rossi. Rossi gives it back to Serio. Serio, cross-court feed for Bell. Bell delays, 5 on the shot clock. He'll put that one up off the window and through. A 10-point United States lead, 30-20, as he's able to knock down that one off of the backboard. Nice shot from Bell, continuing his strong shooting against Canada. Up for Higgins at center. Higgins delays. Looking for some form of support. Tried to feed it in for Dallaire, but it's a pass that was deflected. And now back the other way comes Meyer in transition. U.S. slowing down there, and that's going to be a whistle blown as Garrett Ostapchuk, or make that Bo Hedges took a spill there. And Nick Gonson going to come back into the game. We've seen the impact he's had for Canada in this one. Can he help carry them back in this one down by 10? U.S. also making a slew of changes. Taylor Jordan, who got his first U.S. points yesterday into the game. He'll inbound, along with Fabian Romo and Jacob Williams, who also had a good game against Canada the last time these two teams faced off. Sanchez on the far side. Sanchez back towards Williams on the near side. He'll let that one go. Comes up a little bit short, and it's collected by Hedges. Bo Hedges working it up the floor. Slowing things down and drops it off for Lee Melimick. Anderson on the near side. Anderson back for Melimick. Finds Gonson. Gonson thought about a shot, now delays. Still delays on the shot, and he's fouled, so couldn't get it off in time. Good on Gonson to delay there, and a foul is going to go against the USA. So a couple of shots. They called it on the ground, my apologies, so it's going to stay with Canada. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Feed goes inside for Anderson. Anderson finds Gonson. Underneath, Dallaire puts it up, no good. Came up just short on that one underneath, despite good ball movement from Canada. Back the other way with it is Trayvon Jennifer into the game as well. Finds Sanchez. Back for Jennifer. Far side has time. Delays and finds Sanchez. Sanchez over to the far side for Williams. Williams finds Romo. Romo for Sanchez. Sanchez, one on the shot clock, puts it up, no good. Rebound collected by Gonson. Less than 5 to go here in the second quarter. A 10-point United States lead. Gonson back the other way. He'll delay. Takes some space for himself, puts it up, no good. And the U.S. will get back onto it. Romo. Canadians have gone a little bit cold here. Only 3 points in this quarter, put up there by Romo. Can't finish it off. Foul is going to be called against Lee Melimick. And it'll stay with the U.S. 16 on the shot clock. And checking into the game for Canada, who we didn't see this morning, is Joe Vermette. As Vermette coming in, trying to have an impact on this one as well. It's Taylor Jordan underneath for Sanchez. He'll put that up, and that one is good. Sanchez off the inbound play, able to set that up and make it a 32-20 lead for the United States. Now Anderson off the inbound. Got off to a strong start. Canadians have cooled off, though, from the field, and it's Hedges in the middle. Hedges feeds it for Gonson. Nick Gonson works his way towards the right side. Underneath Anderson, blocked there, but a foul is going to be called. The Americans don't like it, but foul nonetheless called on the United States, and it's going to result in Anderson going to the line for 2 shots. Yeah, nice feed underneath from Gonson to pick out Anderson. Called for the foul and trying to make this a 10-point game. Able to knock down his first one, Anderson. Anderson had 6 first quarter points, I should say. And knocks down his second one as well. So a 10-point game again with 4:04 left in the second. And now Sanchez back the other way quickly, trying to advance. Sanchez feeds it underneath. Jennifer puts it up. Foul and one. As Jennifer gets called on the foul underneath. That transition offense for the United States hurting Canada right there. And Jennifer will try to complete a 3-point play. Also the team's 5th foul for Canada, so they're in the bonus. As Jennifer able to complete the 3-point play right there. So a 35-22 lead for the United States. Canada looking for some answers here. Less than 4 minutes left in the second. Gonson underneath Dallaire. He'll put that one up, fouled, so he'll go to the line. Unable to knock that one down, but a foul is still going to be called nonetheless. And 2 shots for Dallaire. Good amount of fouls in this game so far as well. More than we've seen really throughout the tournament. And Vincent Dallaire trying to cut into this lead. Off on his first one, but he'll have another attempt to try make it a 35-23 game. And he's able to knock down his second one. So 23 points for Canada, 35-23, the Americans lead. Quick in transition they come as Williams carries it underneath. Romo fouled and just missed that attempt. Nearly an and one, and Romo a little bit upset at himself that he didn't finish it off, but that speed in transition really hurting Canada right now for the United States to be able to try and exploit that as Romo goes to the line, trying to add 2 points on. A little bit short on his first attempt. .339 left here in the second. Romo unable to knock down either one of his free ones, so it works out for Canada, and they'll carry it back up the floor. Anderson goes towards Gonson. Gonson defended off, drops it back off for Anderson. Trying to make a quick move to the outside, now cuts inside. Fakes the pass, now across for Gonson. He'll take that 2-point shot. A little bit off is Gonson. So again, Canada a little bit cold here in this one. And it looks like Reed Daeth is getting ready to check in for Canada. Williams off to the far side, Romo. Romo, cross-court feed to the near side, Williams. He'll let that 2-pointer fly. It rattles out. And now Anderson back on it, finding Nick Gonson. Gonson waiting for some support. Carries it up the floor. Cycles back, finding Anderson at the top. Underneath, Hedges fouled on that attempt. And Canada will retain possession. And we'll have one player checking in for Canada, that is, in Reed Daeth. Dallaire is set to inbound. So Reed Daeth, the youngster, 20-year-old, who's had some very, very good moments in this tournament so far. Into the game, we'll see what impact he has as Anderson lets it fly from three, and he hits nothing but net. Patrick Anderson, a big shot to make it a 9-point U.S. lead. Romo back the other way. Feed inside, Jennifer puts it up, no good, and a late foul is called. And that's going to go against Canada once again. And again, a lot of fouls on both sides in this one so far, as both teams are in the bonus already here, with 2:23 left to go here in the second. So a lot of fouls on either side. Jennifer knocks down his first one. And it looks like Tyler Miller is going to check back into the game for Canada, as well as Lee Melimick coming off the bench. We'll see who comes out and what adjustments are made as Jennifer knocks down both of his free ones. Subs for Canada. Dallaire comes out, as well as Joe Vermette, with Melimick and Miller coming back into the game. So 2:23 left to go here in the second. An 11-point lead for the United States. And Bo Hedges onto it. Finds Anderson. Anderson towards the right side, finds Melimick. Back for Anderson, who saw that one late but is able to get to it. Underneath feed. That shot up by Reed Daeth is not good as it falls out. And it rattles towards the near side where Jennifer has it. Jennifer trying to catch up to it. He goes out, though, and couldn't quite maintain possession, not happy with himself. And Canada getting back on possession. So Bo Hedges set to inbound for Canada. Trailing once again by 11. So, again, momentum key late in this first half if they can try to get some momentum going into the dressing room. As Anderson carries it back up towards the key area. Now trails back, putting that one up no good, and the U.S. getting back onto it. It's Jacob Williams working his way back up the floor. Williams delays. Now resets, looking for some support as well. Feeds it cross-court to the far side, Sanchez. Sanchez trying to back his way up into the middle, and he's fouled on that shot attempt. So Sanchez will go to the line to try and add on to this U.S. lead. 1:14 left to go here in the second. We'll see what he can do here from the line. Sanchez able to knock down his first one. So as mentioned, there were 5 lead changes and 3 ties in the last game these two teams met up. And it looked like it was going to be a similar set of circumstances in the first quarter here, with the teams close. 18-17 Canada lead after one, but the U.S. really turned it on here in the second quarter to separate and open up a 38-26 12-point lead. On the near side, it's Hedges. Had that one knocked out of his hands. It'll stay with Canada. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Less than a minute left to go here in the first half. Hedges trying to go for Reed Daith, but that pass misses, and it's Jacob Williams who starts back out the other way. He'll lay that one up and in, and it's a 14-point lead for the U.S. with 45 seconds left here in the second quarter. Miller up the floor for Reed Daith. Daith delays, goes towards Anderson on the far side, able to get to that one. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Anderson trying to create space and look for a passing option. Goes towards Daith on the near side. 3 on the shot clock. Daith puts it up, no good, and the U.S. get to it. So trouble shooting the basketball in this quarter for Canada, and back quickly in transition are the Americans. Romo, inside feed. Jennifer cutting to the basket, he'll finish it off. A nifty passing play right there from the U.S., and they're up 42-26 at the end of the first half as that comes to an end, and Canada will need to make some adjustments at halftime to try and work their way back from a big deficit. The Americans have come out flying in the second quarter to really build a strong lead into halftime. So we'll take a quick break and be back with second half action from the Ravens' Nest here at Carleton University. 42-26 lead for the U.S. after the first half. Welcome back to the Ravens Nest here at Carleton University in Ottawa, Ontario, as we get set for second half action from Ottawa, the United States and Canada. 42 for the U.S., 26 for Canada in a quarter that was really dominated by the United States. The second quarter was a close first, 18-17 Canada after one, but then a 25-8 second quarter for the United States really opened things up. And we'll see what adjustments can be made for Canada to try and work their way back into it as we are underway for the second half. Sanchez for the United States off the inbound. Works his way towards the middle. Sanchez on his own, fouled and one. And he's amped up after that attempt, able to knock it down. Sanchez has been very, very strong so far for the U.S. And an opportunity to three-point play right out of the gate here in the third. Not the start Canada was looking for out of the gate in the second half. Sanchez with 5 first half points. Now 7 with the 2 and then the missed free one right there. And now back the other way with it is Nick Gonson for Canada. He'll go for Higgins on the far side. An open look from 3, and Higgins just off there. Would have been a big shot momentum-wise for Canada, but unable to hit. And now back the other way with it is Sanchez. Sanchez lost the handle. It goes out off of him as Lee Melimik was there defending, and Gonson will inbound for Canada, getting it back. As Salazar gets reset. Just had to fix some equipment there. So it'll be Miller, in fact, inbounding for Canada. Feed it to Gonson. And we're, in fact, going to have a sub for the United States with Salazar. Maybe an equipment issue forced to come out. And that will bring Steve Serio back into the game for the U.S. And Serio, what can be said? He's had a terrific, terrific game so far. 16 points, 5 for 5 from the field. So just a terrific first half for him. And now Canada looking to cut into the U.S. lead. Gonson takes a tumble, turns the ball over as well. So the U.S. starting back the other way. Offensive struggles for Canada here. And Salazar feeds Bell underneath. Nice feed. Serio unable to finish, but he's fouled. It's going to be on the ground, though. And will go back into the hands of Canada, in fact. So we'll see what Canada can do with it. And a sub coming in as well for Canada with Vincent Dallaire coming in. Higgins off the inbound, trying to work back. Still a lot of time left in this one for Canada. Down by 18, if they can go on a little run. Gonson gets to it, puts it up, fouled, rattles around. So 2 shots for Gonson after missing the attempt there, but again, a foul on the U.S. there, so he'll go to the line. A lot of fouls in this game. That's been a trend we've seen throughout this one, more than we've seen in really any game so far in this tournament. And the first one's not good from Gonson. We'll see if he can do better on his second attempt. Again, this is his first game, 6 points in the first half. Now 7 for him on the game. As Serio inbounds to Sanchez. Sanchez still with it. Space created with support from Jordan. Off towards Serio, and a foul is going to go against Garrett Ostapchuk. So a fresh 14 seconds for the U.S. And Serio set to inbound. Serio off towards Sanchez, gets it back. Trying to create space for himself. Miller on him. And foul is going to be called once again. And it's going to go once again against Canada. Lots of fouls in this game for both sides. A little bit of undiscipline. And the ref's not letting anything go so far in this one. And it's inbounded towards John Boyd. Onto the far side. Underneath Bell. Puts it up. Misses. Gets his own rebound though. Feeds it outside. Sanchez lets it fly. Just a little bit off there. And it's collected by Gonson. So Canada able to avoid giving up a couple points there, or a few points for that matter. And now Gonson back the other way. Nick Gonson Works his way into space. Defended by Sanchez. Gonson still on it. Needs some support. Now takes the shot. Just comes up short on that, but Miller collects the rebound at the end of the shot clock, and that'll go back into the hands of the U.S. Shot clock violation on Canada. So again, offensive struggles for Canada here in this one. Able to hold off the U.S. for a little bit in the first quarter. Again, it was a 1-point Canada lead before the U.S. really opened things up in the second. And now back the other way with it are the Americans. Feed towards Bell on the near side. Bell puts that one up off the window, no good. And Gonson collects the rebound. Feeds it for Higgins. Higgins over for Miller. U.S. back quickly here. Now it's fed towards the near side. Gonson gets to it. Gonson trying to create some space for himself again. Gonson works his way towards the middle, finding Miller. Off for Dallaire. On the far side, Higgins. Gonson at the foul line. 1 second on the shot clock. Has to let it fly. Doesn't go. So Gonson, after a stronger start for him, a little bit cold from the field. And now back the other way with it is Sanchez. Sanchez feeds it underneath for Serio. Can't get to that one. A little bit of a strong pass. Too much on that pass from Sanchez towards Serio. And now Canada trying to answer. 7:05 left to go here in the third. 44-27 U.S. lead. Higgins on the far side. Higgins. Gonson in the middle. Delays. Now puts that one up. That one is good from Gonson. So he's able to hit from the field right there. And they'll stop the clock before getting reset. Checking into the game for the U.S. is Jorge Salazar. With Serio checking out of the game. So we'll see what impact Salazar has on this one as Sanchez collects it off the inbound. Sanchez. Make that Bell feeds Sanchez now on the near side. Back for Bell, near the foul line, towards the far side. Boye puts it up, and that one is good. John Boye hits from that angle, and it's a 46-29 lead for the U.S. Colin Higgins on the far side. Higgins in towards the middle. Gonson fading away shot. He'll go to the line shooting two. Good job to draw the foul and get to the line. And the foul is going to go against number 33, John Boye. So Gonson at the line, trying to cut into this lead. First one rattles out. So it remains a 46-29 lead for the U.S. And Gonson, of course, in his first game in the tournament, after missing the first few for Canada. Not good on both of his free ones, and now back the other way come the U.S. You have to think some rust maybe for Gonson after not necessarily playing early on in this tournament, trying to catch up to that level that these guys have been at for a few days. And now Bell feeds it towards the far side. Sanchez gives it back. Bell in the middle. Feeds Sanchez on the far side. 4 seconds left. 3 now as Sanchez makes it from that angle. A nice shot from Sanchez, extending the U.S. lead. 19 points the difference here in the third quarter. Gonson delays. He'll take from three-point range. Off again, and Sanchez recorrals it. Back the other way. Sanchez trying to advance, finds Bell in the middle. Bell goes back for Sanchez, same spot, and he comes up short on that time, but it goes out off of Higgins, so it'll stay with the U.S. And a sub coming in for Canada will be Patrick Anderson. And we'll see who comes out for him. Anderson coming in for Gonson. 5:18 left to go here in the third. 48-29 lead for the United States. And we'll see what adjustments Canada can make in bringing Anderson back into the game, what that does schematically for them. It's fed back out for Bell. Bell puts that one up at the tail end of the shot clock, unable to put that one home. But it's collected by Anderson, and a foul is going to be called against Canada. It's going to be Higgins, so the ball goes right back into the hands of the U.S. Any chance that Canada really has to generate momentum seems like it's been snuffed out, whether it's an offensive foul like that one or a turnover or just a miss. The U.S. has been able to control Canada ever since the end of the first quarter. Back the other way now, Talon Jordan feeds Sanchez. Sanchez underneath, nice feed. And that shot from Salazar is good as well. So now a 50-29 lead for the United States. And Canada looking for answers here, trailing by a fair margin. Dallaire. On towards this near side, Ostapchuk finds Anderson. Pat Anderson. Foul is going to be called there. Canada will retain possession, 14 on the shot clock. And another foul. Been a lot of fouls. We've spoken about it in this game. And no different right there. Third foul for Sanchez so far on the afternoon. And now Ostapchuk feeds it in for Higgins. Higgins delays underneath for Miller. Puts that one up, and that one is good and one. So Miller trying to generate something for Canada. Finishes off a couple points. Now gets to the line. Back to a 19-point U.S. lead, 4:19 left in the third. We'll see if this can spark something for Canada. So Miller to the line. Veteran 38-year-old. Unable to make that one. Rebound, though, comes right back to him. He'll try to corral it. Jump ball is called. And we'll see who will get possession. It'll go to the U.S. So the U.S. will try to respond to that 2 points from Miller, with John Boye set to inbound. Feed goes in for Sanchez. Sanchez for Bell. Bell thought about it for a second, now roams inside the three-point line, finds Sanchez. Sanchez for Boye, delays, back for Sanchez, across for Bell. 4 minutes left to go as Bell knocks that one down. A nice shot from Bell later in the shot clock as well. And again, strong piece for this U.S. side, and he hits right there. Colin Higgins. Space opens up for him. He'll take it from beyond the arc. That comes up short, and it'll go out. So Higgins, not enough power on that shot, as the U.S. will get possession back. 3:40 left to go in the third. And despite certain efforts from Canada to try and battle their way back, it's just been the U.S. that has maintained and extended its lead here in this third quarter, as Jordan feeds towards the near side. Sanchez towards Bell. Bell underneath Salazar. Salazar puts it up as it rattles just out. Collected by Canada, and Higgins will advance it up the floor. Higgins up the right side. Feeds it cross court for Dallaire. Vincent Dallaire off for Anderson. Anderson fading away, puts that one up. It's off. Rebound goes to Ostapchuk. Back for Higgins. Higgins inside for Anderson. He's fouled on the play, trying to get that shot up. We'll see if they determine a shooting. It was a shooting foul, that is. So Anderson to the line. Hasn't had as much of an impact in this game as he has in the last game these two teams faced off, but still a very big veteran presence, as Reed DeEighth comes back into the game for Canada. And once again, a slew of changes to the U.S. lineup coming in, as Serio's back on the floor, as well as Trayvon Jennifer and Jacob Williams. So Anderson at the line for 2 shots. First one's good, making it a 20-point U.S. lead. They'll try to cut it back to a 19-point deficit here. And Anderson able to knock down both of his free ones. So a couple of nice shots for Anderson, and back the other way coming with it are the Americans. It's Serio, right up the gut, finds Bell. Good speed in transition, and a nice finish from Bell as well. And now Canada having to work it back up the floor, as it's inbounded towards Miller. Tyler Miller up the right side, hands it off for Ostapchuk, has space, finds Anderson. Anderson Looking for an option, feeds it underneath. Reed Daith gets to it, puts that up, and it rattles home. Reed Daith, the youngster, with a couple of points right there for himself. And it's a 54-35 United States lead. Canada with the full court press. Inbound goes towards Serio. We'll see if Canada gets caught out here as Serio carries it up the floor. Able to get back in time is Dallaire, but he's called on the foul as he pushed into Steve Serio. And in the bonus, Serio will head to the line. So Serio to the line as mentioned. First one knocked home from Serio, who had a very, very good first half. Was a perfect 5 for 5 out of the break. And hasn't been utilized as much here in the second half yet, but we will see as he is unable to knock down that second one, but made his first one to make it a 20-point U.S. lead, 55-35, and now Reed Daith back the other way. Patrick Anderson trying to create some space. Anderson looking for a passing option. Cornered on this near side, feeds it in for Daith. 4 seconds on the shot, comes up short there, and it's collected by the U.S. Feed goes towards Jacob Williams, and the U.S. carrying it back up the floor. Williams feeds it inside for Jennifer. He'll put that one towards Bell. Bell puts that up, and it's through. Bell with a big bucket. And checking in for Canada now will be Chad Jasmine, who we haven't seen yet this afternoon, coming into the game. And Reed Daith set to inbound. Miller collects. A minute 30 left to go here in the third quarter. Anderson. Canada trying to get set up here with Anderson. Motioning towards the left. Feeds it cross court. A hard pass. Ostapchuk couldn't get to that one. Seemed a little bit shaken up on his hand after that. And Bell in transition. Bell underneath. Nice feed. Williams finishes it off. Transition offense really, really hurting Canada in this game. And we see it once again right there with the U.S. really doing well in transition offense. Anderson to carry it up the floor. Cycles back. Trying to make some space. Lost the handle. Gets it back though. Still on it. Underneath Miller. Had that one stripped from his hands by Serio. What a play there by Serio defensively. And now Bell corrals it. Feeds it for Williams. Williams goes back for Serio. Underneath Jennifer. Puts that one up and in. And a terrific ball movement play there from the United States once again. Speed and transition. And they've really opened things up here in the third quarter. Anderson feeds it cross court to the far side for Reed Daith. Daith inside the three-point line, banks that one home. A nice shot from the youngster. And picks up points number 36 and 37 on the afternoon for Canada. Late here in the third, that shot's up and good. Jacob Williams at the buzzer. Everything's going right for the U.S. right here. No different on that shot from Williams as he extends the U.S. lead 64-37 after 3 quarters of play. We'll take a quick break and be right back with fourth quarter action from the Ravens Nest at Carleton University. welcome back to the Ravens Nest here at Carleton University as the United States leads Canada 64-37 as we head to the fourth quarter of this afternoon game. The second of three today on a Saturday as the USA and the Netherlands will face off at 6 p.m. later tonight, with the semifinal at 9 a.m. tomorrow and the final of this friendly tournament between the Netherlands, Canada, and the United States coming at noon tomorrow. First bucket of the quarter goes for Canada as Chad Jasmine knocks down one off the backboard, and that makes it a 64-39 game. Bell back the other way, underneath for Serio. Turning around, he gets spun down, unable to finish that shot, but he will go to the line shooting two. So again, fouls coming early and often in this one. So that'll send Serio to the line. 22-11 the score for the U.S. in that third quarter. So far in the game, 17 points for Serio. Misses his first attempt there. 5 for 6 from the field is Serio. 4 for 4 from three-point range, capped off really immensely in that second quarter with the 3 threes he made consecutively. And he's able to knock down his second one there. So now 4 for 6 from the free throw line for Serio, and the U.S. going back on defense, up by 24 here. Higgins weaving his way through, trying to get around Jennifer. Off to the near side for Ostapchuk. He'll go for Jasmine on the far side. Jasmine back for Ostapchuk. That one went by him. And that's a turnover for Canada. And the U.S. will get possession with Nick Gonson set to check back into the game for Canada as well. So inbound goes towards Jacob Williams. Williams towards the near side for Serio. Serio underneath for Jennifer. An open lane to the basket. He'll finish that one off. And it's been all the U.S. here in the second half ever since the first quarter, as we've spoken about. 67-39 the score here now, with a minute having elapsed in the fourth quarter. Nick Gonson, first game with the Canadians here in this tournament. Works his way underneath the basket, finishes it off, and one. He'll go to the line, trying to complete a three-point play. Nice drive to the basket there from Gonson. And that's the element that he brings. And of course, mentioned earlier that, maybe not as caught up physically or with an aspect of rust coming in late last night. We'll see if he can get his game going later on in this game, working towards tomorrow. The best team in the standings at the end of today will automatically get a bye to the finals, while the 2 and 3 teams will play off in the semis in the morning to see whoever plays the first place team. Still undetermined who that is, as that's going to be a foul called against Tyler Miller. So a foul called against Canada there, and it'll stay with the U.S. 14 seconds on the shot clock. As of right now, Canada's 2-1, with the U.S. playing their first game today. They are 1-1. We'll see what their third result is after this one, as Bell picks it up underneath the basket and finishes off nicely. Bell's been terrific so far as well in this one. He's got 14 now and adds to the U.S. lead. So Canada 2-1, the USA 1-1, with the Netherlands 1-2, winning this morning against Canada. So the Netherlands will have a chance to go 500 tonight against the U.S., while the U.S. will go up to 2-1. Gonson comes up short on that shot. And now Jennifer back the other way. Serio slowing things down. Space opens up for him. Thought about a three. Now moves in. Defended off and feeds it underneath for Bell. Putting it up. No good, but a foul. Once again, Canada called for the foul, and Bell will go to the line, shooting two. So we'll see what Bell can do to try and knock these couple of shots down. Again, 14 for him now on the afternoon. First one rattles out for Bell. So we'll see what he can do on his second one, 69-42 for the U.S. here. They'll have a game later today, as mentioned, against the Netherlands. Bell unable to knock down both of those. It'll go out, so it'll go back to Canada, the possession, and we'll see what they can do with it. With 7:53 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Nick Gonson off the inbound. Up this near side, now towards the middle. Gonson from long range puts that one up, a little bit off there, but was a good look for him. And now Serio trying to stretch it out quickly for Bell. Nice pass. Bell picks it up. One-handed shot put up as it rattles home for Bell. And the caliber of this United States team on display here this afternoon, 71-42, they lead over Canada. Gonson, but an offensive foul is going to be called, as in the middle there was Reed Daith. And the U.S. will get possession right back. So the U.S., who lost to Canada in the first time these two teams faced off, have to think that that vengeance was wanted here coming into this one. They lost yesterday. As now coming in on it is Williams, trying to work his way in. Basket's going to be waved off. It'll stay on the ground, so a foul on the ground, and it'll stay with the United States. Steve Serio set to inbound. He's had a terrific night as well, as we've spoken about. Canada still getting set here as well. As for Canada, this is the last round-robin game, so the last scheduled game, quote-unquote, for them. They will, of course, have one more, depending on who gets the bye and who finishes in the semis. And their opponents still yet to be determined as well. But each team will have played each other twice after today. As Gonson back the other way, met with pressure by Jennifer. Gonson working his way around. Now feeds it for Ostapchuk near side. Puts that one up, no good. And it's picked up by Williams on the rebound. Williams goes towards Serio on the far side. Slows things down. Serio underneath. It goes off of Ostapchuk and out. And we'll see if he's okay to stay in. Hit him in the head. He's motioning towards it, so hopefully he's okay to stay in. Looks like he is. And with 11 seconds left on the shot clock, it'll be United States possession still. John Bowie set to inbound. On towards the near side, Serio lost the handle on that one. Collected by Jasmine, and he'll go for Gonson. Nick Gonson back the other way. Advances on the right. Feeds it cross court toward Jasmine. Jasmine back for Gonson. Underneath, nice feed for Ostapchuk, who can't finish that one off, but a nice play from Gonson to just make that little flick play over to a streaking in Ostapchuk. Couldn't quite finish it off. Williams now back the other way. Near side feed for Serio. Serio underneath for Jennifer. Puts it up and in. An open lane once again for Jennifer. We've seen a few times where that's the case. And he finishes it off to extend the United States lead, 73-42. Nick Gonson on the right side underneath for Jasmine. Puts that one off the window. It rattles home. Got a favorable roll right there, Jasmine. And now back with it is Bell for the United States. Bell weaving his way through, puts it up, fouled on the shot. And Reed Daith is not happy with himself after that one. Bell will go to the line, shooting two, trying to add to this U.S. lead. Bell's been very impressive in this one. And some subs coming in, set to come in, that is, for the United States. They're going to bring Ryan Neiswender back in, Fabian Romo, as well as Rossi into the game for the U.S. in a moment. But first, free throws from Bell. First one comes up a little bit short. And we'll see what he can do on his second one. Very, very tough player, Bell, to face off against. Again, the speed of this United States team, formidable here today, as he's able to knock down his second free one. And now, as mentioned, 3 changes for the U.S. and Canada looking like they're going to make a similar type of change with 4 different players coming in. Anderson, Hedges, Melimick, and Dallaire coming into the game for Canada. So a couple of new look units out there for both sides. And Canada, you'd assume, wanting to get different guys some touches here. Final game of the day for them. As the whistle goes. And it'll stay with Canada here. I believe the shot clock didn't set. The shot clock didn't start, so they'll have to reset it to 20 seconds. Still some clock issues. Had a delay for that reason yesterday, but now they seem to have rectified the situation, and now with it are the Canadians in the offensive half. It's Anderson. Had it knocked out of his hands by Jennifer. Trying to get back onto it is Anderson. Unable to, though, as Jennifer gets to it. He'll cut his way back, feeds it over towards Romo. Foul is going to be called prior to the shot. And the basket's going to be waved off, but because of the bonus, the U.S. will go to the line. It's going to be Neiswender who is able to draw the foul. And the fifth foul as well. For one of the Canadian players, we'll have to see exactly who it is. The refs are still discussing. And yeah, they reassessed that foul to Nick Gonchen, which is his first foul of the game. So not the fifth foul. And it's Neiswender at the line. Unable to knock down his first one. He'll get another chance at it, though. So up by 30, the Americans here. And they've just progressively improved as this tournament has gone on. Had a very low-scoring game against the Netherlands the last time those two teams faced off. We'll see what that one brings later on today. It's going to be interesting to see if the U.S. comes out with this same energy, or if the Netherlands, who won earlier today, can kind of use that momentum to work its way into a strong one against the U.S. Turnover against the U.S. there. It'll go back into the hands of Canada. And Gonchen will inbound and go towards Patrick Anderson. A little over 5 minutes left to go here in the fourth. Anderson feeds it to the near side. Hedges is fouled. Romo a little bit aggressive on that side. So Canada will retain possession here, try to work into this deficit. Tough to do with 5:08 left, but again, looking for some momentum going into tomorrow. That's going to be a very big key for Canada. Trying to run different types of lineups depending on the opponent they're going to play tomorrow. Ideally, they would want to play one or both if they get the bye to the finals. If not, then win the semis and play the other team in the finals. We shall see as Hedges collects it. Hedges inside feed. Dallaire cutting to the basket, unable to finish late in the shot clock, but Melimick gets back onto it. Feeds it off towards Anderson, that is, and he'll re-corral it. 10 on the shot clock. Feed in for Hedges, and he'll finish that one off. A nice feed from Anderson to pick out Hedges as he was cutting towards the basket, finishes it off, and adds a couple points for Canada. Back with it is Serio. Feeds it off for Neiswender. Now Romo back for Serio. He'll put it up from there, and he hits. A foul and one from Serio. Count the basket. He'll go to the line. Chance at a three-point play again for Serio, who's been absolutely terrific in today's game as well. Yeah, what can be said about Steve Serio? He's been all over the place for the United States, creating offense in different ways as well, distributing the ball well, able to knock down that free one to knock down another three-point play for him. He's been terrific so far for the United States. We'll see if he can carry it into the game later against the Netherlands as well. Anderson up this left side. Looking for a passing option. Nothing there yet. Has to cycle back. Feeds it underneath for Melimick, who can't finish it off. And the shooting has been an issue all day for Canada in the morning game and then in this game as well. And now back with it is Fabian Romo. Romo cycles back towards the key area, finds Serio, unable to knock it down from there, but gets it back off of a nice bounce for him. And Serio still comes up short there, with Gonchen picking up the rebound. Nick Gonchen advancing up the floor. Tries to weave his way in, but is forced back out. Anderson now. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Cross-court feed to Hedges. Hedges thinks about a long two, hesitates. Puts that one up now. It's short, but it goes right into the hands of Anderson. Shot clock violation, though, against Canada. So a turnover there and back into the hands of the United States with 3:16 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Feed in for Serio. Serio back the other way. Cuts his way back and goes across for Romo. On the near side, Fabian Romo. Off towards Neiswender. Back for Romo. Romo delays, takes a long two, and he's got nothing but net right there. Nice shot from Romo. He's extending the United States lead here, 79-46. They lead with a little less than 3 minutes left here. Malimuk on the far side, finds Gonson in and underneath. Dalea can't finish off, but he's fouled, so he'll go to the line. Shooting two. 2:38 left to go here in the fourth. Dallaire, who's had a considerable amount of playing time here this afternoon, more than we've seen him so far in any game for Canada in the tournament. Knocks down his first one right there. Now he gets a nice applause from the crowd. If you're in the Ottawa area, admission to this tournament is free, so it's great basketball, some great athletes here. So if you have the ability to come out, whether it be this evening for the U.S.-Netherlands game or one of the two tomorrow, we'd love to see you out here at the Ravens Nest at Carleton University in Ottawa, Ontario. Back the other way with it is Steve Serio. Feeds it to the far side. Romo lets that one fly a little bit short, and it's collected by Anderson. Anderson back the other way. Cycles back, now puts that one up, and Anderson is good. So trying to get it going a little bit, Anderson here. Got off to a good start, but a little bit of a difficult middle portion of the game for him, able to make good on that shot and cut into the lead. Romo tried to feed it across. Serio picks it out underneath Rossi. Delays, and a foul is going to be called. Looked like a block for a moment, but a foul is. My apologies, it just went out on the on Canada, so it'll stay with the U.S. here. And it'll be Ryan Neiswender set to inbound. 79-49, the United States leads. Romo again finds Serio near side. He'll let that one go, and that one is good. Steve Serio has been terrific in this one. Spoken about it pretty much the entirety of the game, and no different right there. Back the other way with it is Hedges. Hedges goes to the near side. Dallaire inside for Gonchen, fading away, puts that up, just rattles out, and it's collected by the U.S. Back the other way with it is Romo. Fabian Romo. A minute 20 left to go here in the fourth. Cross-court feed for Rossi. In for Serio. Underneath Jennifer. Jennifer back out for Serio. 5 on the shot clock. Romo near side. Romo puts that up at the tail end of the shot clock, and he's able to knock that one down. A big shot from Fabian Romo, just beating the shot clock. And adding on for the U.S., 83 points for them. So the Canadians are going to want to look at their defense after this one. Speed and transition was really what hurt them, as Hedges loses the handle on that one, and it's Jennifer back the other way. He'll put that one up and in and add on 85-49 for the U.S. And have to think a certain level of fatigue set in late here for Canada. Playing early this morning, a tough game against the Netherlands, and then coming in for the second game of the day here. Difficult task to do against a very good U.S. team, a team that won in Tokyo 2020. Back comes Romo the other way. Romo cycles back. Feeds it cross court for Jennifer. 16 seconds left here in the fourth. On towards this near side, Romo will let that one fly from 3, doesn't go. 10 seconds left, and looks like Anderson's just going to hold on to this one and kill out the rest of this game. A dominant victory for the U.S., 85-49 over Canada, and Canada dropping 2 games on the day will fall to 2-2 on the tournament. USA jumps to 2-1 after a victory. They'll look to complete their round-robin schedule on the right footing later on against the Netherlands, who sit at 1-2 in the tournament so far in this one. Canada, again, looking for answers. We'll see if they can come out with more energy and some better pace in their games tomorrow after dropping both of these games here on a Saturday afternoon. Once again, the final score from the Ravens Nest here, 85 for the United States, 49 for Canada. We hope to see you again at 6 p.m. tonight for the USA and the Netherlands coming up next here from the Ravens Nest. But that's it for me. I'm Jackson Starr. Thank you for joining.